Welcome to the Tribune-Review High School Football Preview. I'm Kevin Gorman with Andrew Erickson, and we're here to talk about Class 4A. Andrew, one of the new classifications, but looks like we have some old favorites among the top teams.
Yeah, and especially in the Big Nine, you're talking about a conference that still has a lot of teams left over from the Big Ten. You have your powerhouses like Thomas Jefferson, who had a slow start last season but went on to win the WPIAL championship, and Belle Vernon, a team that started 10-0 last season and brings back its quarterback in Mike Fine.
And Mike Fine, a guy who just committed to St. Francis, PA. Thomas Jefferson is loaded with stars. But when you look at this classification, it seems to be kind of a two-horse race in the Big Nine. Who are some other teams in other conferences that you think could be contenders?
Yeah, Mars is a team that's always strong. You have a running back in Isaiah Johnson that ran for over 1,500 yards last season, as well as South Fayette, which is a team that comes up from AA and is one of two teams that come up from AA and should be a real contender with its passing offense.
When you talk about the top players in Class 4A, as you mentioned, Thomas Jefferson has some key guys. Who really stands out to the Jaguars for you?
Oh, well, Zane Zandier is a two-way athlete, a guy that has been recruited at wide receiver and defensive back and has a lot of D1 offers. You also talk about Quentin Hill, who's a great running back, and Devin Danielson, who is a fantastic offensive lineman, is only a sophomore.
And then how about some of the other key players in Class 4A?
Oh, sure. Like I mentioned, Isaiah Johnson for Mars, as well as Belle Vernon's Mike Fine is another guy that really should be a fantastic player for Belle Vernon.
I think it'll be interesting to see how South Fayette fares jumping up in two classifications. They were always one of the biggest schools. They do return their starting quarterback in Drew Saxton and his favorite target, and Dan Trimber. That's going to be the big adjustment for the Lions, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you have a guy, who threw 2,000 yards. It'll be interesting to see how, their offensive line and their, some of their targets match up size-wise and match up skill-wise against, teams that are a little bit bigger.
For Andrew Erickson, I'm Kevin Gorman. That's the Tribune-Review High School Football Preview for Class 4A. Check out the Trib's game plan for more coverage.